All right, here we are in Southern California with the owner and CEO of Discmania, Jussi Meresmaa, here for a short Ask Me Anything video.
Hey, Disc Maniacs.
All right, let's start. Curtis Manahan wants to know if you'll be applying for the PDGA director role. If not, please list 3 people you'd like to see in that position. The PDGA needs guidance from those heavily invested, such as yourself.
Well, I'm not applying for that position, and it's really hard to say who those 3 would be, but there will be eventually a election or a bidding process, so we will see who they are.
Okay. Country Disc Golf. Will there be a women's division for the 2017 in the Disc Golf World Tour? If no, then why exclude a vital segment of the sport?
3 out of 4 events will have a women's division next year.
Josh Woods. Blacks, Latinos, and other racial/ethnic minorities are underrepresented in disc golf. Is this a problem in your mind, and how can we fix it?
I agree, and it's a problem, but time will tell, and time will get more players on the courses.
Bradley Huddleston. Any plans for a utility mid-range such as a Gator coming to the lineup?
Yes, Bradley.
Noah Newman. Why do the signature discs only have a particular run or two? I was looking for an Eagle McMahon MD3 thinking I would be able to get one like a Paul McBeth Destroyer, only to find out they are no longer on the Discmania website.
Our signature discs are highly wanted, and they probably sell fast, so keep on looking on the Discmania store and you might snag one.
Is there any understable drivers and understable mid-range? Because I have the FD and it is straight with the fade, and the MD2, which I haven't tried. Is the MD2 straight or is it pretty stable? This is from Andrew Valenzula. Sorry if I butchered that.
MD3 is pretty stable. MD2. We have a new disc which is the MD, which is the straight to understable, so you should try that. And there are new discs and also understable ones in the works.
Brian Peterson wants to know, why do you love the sport of disc golf so much? What continues to drive you to get up every day and make it count?
Same reason that you all guys.
Brandon Hooper, what drove you to make Discmania into the company we all know and love? And will we be seeing you at some of the majors this next season?
Well, it's been a 10-year journey in Discmania, and it's just wanted to create something new for the sport, something that can be progressive over 10 years. And you're going to see me at the majors, but mainly off the course.
Tommy McLean wants to know, when are we going to get the P2X? P1X isn't doing it for me. I need a beaded P2.
We're working with a beaded putter, so stay tuned.
Stephen Ramsey wants to know, what can be done to increase payouts in MPO and FPO divisions? How much do sponsored players get to cover? How much do sponsored players get to cover their travel costs?
First of all, the payouts. I think the payouts will eventually grow over the time. What I want to see is that the bigger events are actually going to be sustainable as an events, and the promoters would also get paid what they do. There are so many TDs and promoters that are making a lot of work, huge amount of work, without getting any paid. So time will tell what's going to happen, but I think the next step would be to get the promoters and TDs who are running the show get paid. And as we grow as a disc golf and the sport, of course the sponsored players will get more money, more support from the companies, and at the moment there is a handful of people who are making their living with the disc golf, and that's great.
Jerry Patterson wants to know, how do you plan on getting Discmania Plastic in beginners' hands? Do you have any plan for grassroots events across the USA?
Yes, we have done over the last 3 years, we've done deep in the game flying circus events that are basically aimed for the amateurs and people who wants to learn throwing discs and play the game. We definitely are working with the more beginner suitable drivers and mid-ranges in the future. So stay tuned.
Discmania's own Chris Brubeck wants to know, what is one important lesson you have learned in life that you could pass on to others?
You need to travel and learn more new cultures. Things that are working here are totally different in the other side of the world. So travel more, experience, and you will learn.
I would like to know, who is your biggest role model? Who do you look up to and aspire to be like?
When I was a kid, it was my grandfather. He was the entrepreneur and the small business owner. So I was actually working for him when I was 9 years old. And unfortunately, he passed away 4 years ago. And I have his old typewriter machine in my desk. So that reminds me of my grandfather and my person that I was looking up to.
Okay. Mikko Settala, when is the MD4 out?
When is the summer in Finland?
Shane Harbison wants to know, one of my friends has a P2 with the aviation abbreviation written on the bottom from the factory. Is that a mistake or is it the same disc?
I can't tell you, sorry, Shane.
Austin Pfaff, if you could only eat one type of food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Vegetarian food.
Yuka Mato, since there is a line of X discs, DDX, PDX, for example, are we going to see an MDX, FDX, and TDX in the future?
Most probably yes.
Matthias Oswald, are there thoughts about having one tour stop on every continent in 5 years, or is that too early?
That might be a bit too early. Of course, we're looking for great venues and nice places to have a big tournaments.
Billy Britton wants to know, do you think disc golf could be / should be an Olympic sport? If so, how long until then?
It could be. Obviously, that requires still quite a lot of things happen. Personally, I'm not the big fan of getting disc golf to the Olympics. I want to see growth on all the other areas first, but of course it's possible.
Remy Alvera, do you enjoy Belgian beers? If so, what's your favorite style? And can I send you some Mazama Brewing beer to taste?
Thanks for the offer. When I played the Euro Tour and Belgium Opens, we always went to the place and the Central Plaza in Brussels, and we had this one bar that was actually filled with the pig platters. The platters were as the lights, and that was pretty interesting place. And I think the Hoa Garden was the beer to them. But nowadays I'm not drinking beer. Sorry.
Discmania's Erno Varunen says, I think most nonprofit organizations use their resources to maintain status quo. Do you see any new measures the PDGA could take to leverage growth?
PDGA pitäisi mun mielestä ottaa osaa enemmän lajin promoamiseen mediassa ja tehdä erilaisia mainoskampanjoita valtakunnallisesti, mutta myös globaalisti. Kiitos Erno hyvästä kysymyksestä.
Good. Bryce Radke, if you didn't have to put pants on today, would you?
I like my pants.
Rick Fields, I've been taking notes this past year as I've been involved with meeting you and some of your counterparts. You have video production with the Spin 18, officially the world's most widely spread tour, the Disc Golf World Tour, website and score designers both in America and Europe, course development with Disc Golf Park, disc manufacturing with Discmania, partnering bag and clothing with Grip and Dude. So what's next for your empire?
Great notes, Rick, and I like you're making your research. I'm just part of all this, so basically I have an opportunity to reach out to my disc golf friends all over the world and make some nice and really interesting collaborations, and I encourage you and everybody else to try same. So I don't know what's next on the horizon, but I would say that we definitely want to keep up pushing the Disc Golf Park, our course concept all over the world, plus of course all kind of promotions. Thank you, Rick.
Ty Woodward wants to know, why did you discontinue the Gremlin?
Well, there are discs that needs to be reinvented. There are discs that are a little slower movers. So Gremlin GM was one of those discs, and it's still available at our stores and our retailers. But we felt that we need to refresh our mid-range lineup.
Dustin Scholes wants to know, how can he get sponsored by Discmania?
You need to take. You need to attend to our combine events. We are planning to have combines both in US and Europe next year.
Jordan Lee wants to know, are you hiring graphic designers? He says he will work for discs.
Nice offer. We have a great graphic designer. His name is Hannu, and whenever we grow into that position that we need more, please be around.
Jason Hartley wants to know your favorite Finnish band.
Well, just listen to today. It's a hymn. It's a nice rock band from Finland.
Diego the Caveman Alvarado wants to know, what was your favorite course to help design in 2016?
Course design is the greatest thing you can do hands-on. And this year I think, well, actually it's not even public, but it's an upcoming pro course near Tampere City.
Okay, Tyler Smith asks a broad question, but if you could just answer shortly, what are you going to do to grow the sport?
Well, I think Rick made those notes, and being involved of all kind of things that help, elevates, promotes, markets the disc golf is definitely the thing that I want to do. I don't think that I'm going to do any crazy things outside than what we are currently doing, but the main thing is that you need to be passionate what you do, and good things will follow.
I'm going to butcher this next question bad. Jostin Holland wants to know, do you think you can beat Oyvind Jarnes at the Sula Open 2017?
Of course.
Emil Backstrom, what is Discmania going to do during 2017 to hashtag grow the sport and get more people to discover disc golf?
Well, I think we already discussed those things, but I would say making more disc golf courses and of course push the Disc Golf World Tour as a promotional vehicle are two most important things.
Sean McGowan, when will the PDX be released completely?
2018.
2018. Okay. Tyler Saunier, hey Jussi, thank you for doing such an amazing job for the 2016 Disc Golf World Tour. Can't wait to see what 2017 has in store. My question is more of a suggestion. Any thoughts on the evolution of a PD3? Just an idea I've been throwing around on here from time to time, but its flight numbers would be a 13, speed 13, glide 4 or 5, plus 1 on the turn, and finishing with a 4 or 5 fade.
Whoa. That's a disc that only Simon and Eagle can throw.
He also says also a P2X, a P2 with a bead that would be more overstable than a KC AVR. Just a thought. Thanks again. Hashtag keep on dreaming.
Really overstable dreams you have, boy.
Now we're getting to Instagram. AJ Davidge Do. Oh, AJ Davidge. Do you have any advice on how to get young kids into disc golf? I'm the father of a 2-year-old and my son seems interested. I want to make sure he enjoys it as much as his old man. Thanks.
Good question. I have my own 3-year-old kid. We have the Discmania Mini Target. That's a perfect gift you need to give your son as a holiday present. So that's a starter.
Matthew_disc golf. What made you decide to make a new company and keep up the great work?
A new company as Discmania, well, wanted to create something new for the disc golf horizon, and that's where we are at the moment.
This is a broad, difficult question, but do your best. Connor J. 4113. How can you tell what run a disc is?
Well, Connor, it's getting harder and harder. We're making so many new runs, but we try to designate different runs just for the customer service and getting sure that you know what you're throwing. There are some uh, identification things that you can do, but it's basically case by case. So it's hard to say at the moment that how we differentiate them. But we try to list those in our Discmania store. So check that out.
The Gun Show 13 wants to know what is the main thing you are looking for in a prospective team member?
Good question. Obviously, uh, how he or she handles himself or herself on and off the course. We put a lot of weight on the representation of the brand and the sport and the people. So you need to be all around good guy and girl to get into this mania.
This is Noah 21. Do you still get enough to design new courses?
Uh, Partly. I love that job, and I always want to have some projects on my desk, but at the moment other things in my businesses are taking so much time that I have only 3 to 5 projects per year.
Black Star Pori wants to know why, for the second year in a row, are Disc Golf World Tour fundraisers mostly PDX in C-Line or S-Line? Why not offer something from the MD series for a change?
Good question. We originally wanted to have those two different molds for the collectors and the tour. Next year you're going to see more variety on fundraisers.
Parker_writing wants to know, what new molds are in the making for Discmania?
Well, Parker, I can't reveal all our plans, but there will be quite a few new discs coming out.
Car Diggity Dog, what do you see for the sport of disc golf in the next 5 or 10 years?
Continuous growth, a lot of new people coming into the sport, also companies. Hopefully we will get more expansion in the East and also Australia.
The_Duhas, are you planning to open up a store in Alaska anytime soon? Would you consider it?
Unfortunately, no stores in Alaska in our horizon, and considering, no, sorry.
Jake_Janty, it's a pretty popular question. When do we see a super overstable mid from Discmania?
When there is a summer in Finland.
I don't know how to pronounce this name. I'm going to try. This is Altisatomanen. What's the best course you have designed in your opinion?
I like the Beast European Open course. That's pretty on point.
Janelle V, are you going to compete professionally anymore?
No, I only take friendly betting matches like we did today.
Samu.Kaliomaki, what is your favorite disc in the Discmania lineup, and who is your favorite player?
The disc has to be FD. That's a great disc for anybody. My favorite player, I have 2 favorite players at the moment. Simon and Eagle, they are both great guys, and we're going to see a lot of new great things from them next season.
Okay. Austin M and S Will. Innova and/or Will Innova or Discmania ever make a DX, D-line, soft, medium, and hard blends?
DX and D-line, probably not. It's going to be called something else, but we have a P-line putters that are pretty soft, and it's mainly up to the Dave, the Golden Goose, who will make our discs.
All right, last 5 questions. Dennis Og. Oh, no, different guy, sorry. XC Kaysen. What's new to your bag this season?
Coming to 2017, I have a couple new discs. But the latest one I have added is the DDX. But of course I'm going to go and try our new upcoming models, but we will relieve them later.
Dinosaur Thunder. What did you replace your favorite first run FDs with? When will we see an S-Line FD2? And is Smashbox TV part of the World Tour plan for 2017?
3 questions.
First one is, what did you replace your favorite first-run FDs with?
The new FD, they're all good.
And when will we see an S-Line FD2?
S-Line FD2. Well, no plans for that at the moment.
And is Smashbox TV part of the World Tour plan for 2017?
Nothing confirmed or agreed.
Dimebag Disc 666. What would you call the biggest success of your career in disc golf, either as a pro player or as a coordinator?
As a pro player, I would say that placing the top 5 in all the majors when I was playing 2008 and 9, basically. And as a promoter or coordinator, anybody who has started to play disc golf because of our actions, that's a success.
Last question, it's a two-parter. Nick Rowe 35. When will the PDX be regularly available?
2018.
And will any Colorado courses make it in the World Tour lineup this year?
Next season, no, we have our course and schedule set, but maybe in the future.
So that's the Ask Me Anything. Is there anything you'd like to say before we close the tape?
Good questions, Maniacs, and obviously life in Southern California is nice. Keep on hucking.